Anthony Todt, the man accused of slaughtering his entire family in Celebration, Florida, writes a shocking letter claiming that his wife drugged the children with Benadryl pie and stabbed them, and then stabbed herself. A Connecticut man accused of killing his entire family in a rented Florida townhouse is now claiming that he is innocent. The Orlando Sentinel reports that Anthony Todt, who is accused of killing his wife, children, and dog, sent his father a 27-page letter from jail. Anthony is currently housed at the Osceola County Jail without bond on murder charges after his family was found dead at a home in Celebration, Florida earlier this year. According to the letter, Anthony reportedly claimed that his wife Megan mixed Benadryl and Tylenol PM in a dessert and gave it to their children Alec 13, Tyler 11, and Zoe 6. After the children fell asleep, Megan stabbed them to death, Anthony Todt wrote. Long story short, she gave them Benadryl, Tylenol PM pie, separated them, woke them up at 11:30 p.m., stabbed and then suffocated each one, Anthony wrote to his father, Robert Todt. At the news of this, I ran to the bathroom and threw up. I was weak, Anthony is quoted as saying in the letter. The letter, which was copied by the Orange and Osceola State's Attorney's Office as evidence, was released to the Sentinel on Monday. Anthony also reportedly claimed that he wanted to open up about his family's deaths months ago, but didn't after his attorneys advised him to remain quiet. I would have called for a press conference months ago, but I was told by my attorneys, who happen to be some of the best in the state, that that was not the appropriate way to handle the case. So I just sit and idle, making a list of lawsuits for when I get out. Prosecutors, however, presented enough evidence against Anthony Todt to secure a grand jury indictment against him in February on 4 counts of first-degree murder. Anthony Todt was arrested in January at the Celebration home, following a welfare check in December after his family in Connecticut hadn't heard from him. During the first visit, authorities said they didn't notice anything unusual. When authorities returned to the home in January, they had federal agents with them. They served an arrest warrant from the Department of Health and Human Services after investigators alleged Anthony scammed insurance companies for numerous years. Inside the home, investigators discovered a grisly scene. Megan had a stab wound to her stomach. Their 2 sons also had stab wounds on their abdomens. According to the investigators, the boys' bodies were completely black and had started to decompose. The youngest child, Zoe, didn't have any obvious physical trauma. Investigators said they found the little girl deceased at the foot of the bed, wrapped in a blanket. Police arrested Anthony Todt at gunpoint and took him away in handcuffs. Local reports indicated that Anthony had a strong odor coming from him as officers led him away from the home. Authorities later said that Anthony Todt may have spent at least a week inside the home with his family members' deceased bodies. Anthony was initially taken to the hospital after telling the officers he had taken Benadryl pills and commented about harming himself. Authorities think a possible motive for the murders was money. According to a 36-page affidavit filed in federal court, Anthony Todt, who owned Family Physical Therapy in Connecticut, billed insurance companies for extra services that never happened and for appointments that never took place. Anthony reportedly commuted back and forth from Florida to Connecticut, but his license expired in September 2019. A sign on the front of his business in Connecticut indicated that they would return after January 1st, but apparently the business never reopened. Numerous parents of children who were patients at Family Physical Therapy confirmed that their insurance companies were billed for therapy sessions their children never attended. Anthony Todt owed over $100,000 to investors after taking out loans from 20 different commercial lenders to fund his business. He is accused of defrauding the government's Medicaid and Medicare programs, as well as private insurance companies such as Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield to pay off his debts. Despite the evidence against him, Anthony Todt maintained in the letter to his father that he was 1000% innocent and he was constantly caring for his wife, who he said had Lyme disease and depression, among other illnesses. Anthony wrote that the move to Florida was prompted by Megan's alleged illnesses. The accused killer said that on the day of the murders, everything was phenomenal, and his wife woke up without any pain for the first time in months. Though the family lived in a rented home off of Reserve Place in Celebration, they owned another home nearby. Anthony wrote that he was at that home he owned doing repair work and picking up his daughter's Mickey Mouse necklace earlier that day, then returned to Reserve Place to play basketball with his sons. That evening, according to Anthony, Megan asked everyone if they would like dessert. Anthony claimed he declined because he was trying to lose weight. Afterward, Anthony went back to the owned home, did some work, and then went to his minivan for a nap, according to his letter. He ended up sleeping until 4 a.m. in the vehicle, he wrote, then woke up in a panic because he needed to help his wife with therapy. Anthony said he drove back to the rented home and found his wife at the top of some stairs, where she allegedly confessed that she had killed the children and released their souls. Anthony wrote that Megan then said she had to be with her babies and stabbed herself in the abdomen after taking Benadryl. The suspect wrote that he never contacted police because he spent weeks in a haze after the incident and was unaware of the insurance fraud charges against him. Decades before the Florida Massacre, Robert Todt, Anthony's father, was involved in a grisly murder-for-hire plot after he paid someone to murder his wife, Loretta. Loretta lost an eye, but she survived the incident. Her 2 children were at home at the time, including Anthony Todt, age 4 years old at the time. Now, shortly after the incident, 4-year-old Anthony told investigators he heard his mother screaming before a man with a T across his forehead picked him up and took him back to bed, according to a September 1981 report by the Philadelphia Inquirer. Robert Todt was apparently engaged to another woman when the shooting took place. The woman, identified as Colleen Fico, testified that they had made substantial plans towards marriage. Although Robert eventually admitted to having an affair, he continued to deny planning his wife's shooting. A jury disagreed, and Robert Todt ended up spending many years in prison. In the letter to his father, Anthony wrote, "I offer you forgiveness for not being there to protect us that night on March 19, 1980. Although we were both not there on our respective nights in question for different reasons, I cannot forgive myself if I don't first forgive you."